This is Dr. Lynn Schutt, a veterinarian from Northern Virginia. Now, he loves all the finer things in life, particularly animals, his alma mater, Ohio State, but most of all, boats. Dr. Lynn and his wife are both vets, veterinarians, and this is their boat, Vetted. Isn't she beautiful? It has taken years of hard work, smart decisions, and many sacrifices, but he's done what many have dreamed about, but few have actually accomplished. Vetted is a prime example of what can happen when everything goes right. However, it's also a sobering and horrific example of every boat owner's darkest nightmare.
At 9:30 in the morning is when all hell broke loose.
So Vetted was in an accident with a yacht out in Port Everglades.
The owner had a moment of lapse in judgment.
There's a couple of good stories on that one. I got to tell these stories because I've heard two of them.
I was 3 miles out in the ocean, running due north with the automatic pilot on, just loving the day.
One of them, he was at the helm of the boat and he was programming his autopilot and he decided to walk down below.
I never saw a 110-foot yacht, supposedly coming from the ocean side.
Evidently, they were having a little bit of issues with a autopilot.
Saw a boat coming, looked away for a few minutes.
And then this other yacht was coming across and trying to deviate away from them, and then the boat turned into it and it hit.
Hit the steel boat at full speed ahead.
That was one that he left the helm. The other story was that he was at the helm.
And the gentleman closed the curtain.
And he had a glare.
Because the sun lit his eye.
And he couldn't see the screen, so he went over, pulled the curtain down, and he was programming his GPS, and it turned into the boat that was near him.
He slammed the boat into another boat at 20 knots, I believe it was.
So I don't know, I'd go with the first one. He left the helm and went downstairs. That's my opinion.
He got up, I looked, and the front of my bow was gone.
Destroyed the bow.
The boat hit and crunched about 12 foot of the front master.
And took about 10 foot of the bow off of it.
We lost, I would say, 14 feet of the bow, completely gone.
What was that, Juan? Exactly how many feet of the bow? There are literally thousands of boatyards all over the globe, and one thing is consistent with all of them. When it comes to information getting passed around, they're all just like a giant knitting circle with power tools.
I mean, there's no anchor, there's no nothing. Luckily, it broke off with about a foot above the water line.
The pilot of that boat is very lucky. It could have been a lot worse.
Split second, I'm down below, picking myself up, and had I hit my head and been killed, I'd never known anything. And honestly, I thought I hit a buoy. That would seem to be the most logical thing out in the middle of the ocean. And then realized there was this large yacht off my port side. And so I hailed him and he said, yes, we just collided. That began the saga.
It was unrepairable or totaled.
In my mind, is this boat really going to be able to be, repaired?
Electrical, mattresses, padding, carpet, reading lights, stereo systems, overhead vinyl, pumps, broken stringers, broken frames, closets, bathrooms, acrylic doors, missing cabinets, punched in glass for the portholes on the side. There was just so much to repair on that boat. Like, where do you start? I can see how a lot of people didn't want to do that project. Two of the surveyors that I know, unrelated to this, both told me to stay away from that project. Don't touch it.
Dennis assured me he could fix it.
I do this in my sleep. I know damn well I can fix it. I've been doing this for quite a long time, over 32 years.
My doubts were the massive damage that was done to the bow of this boat, where literally the front of your boat is ripped off.
We want this boat to look brand spanking new when it goes back in that water. And that's what we do at Foster's. We find solutions for the problem. We perform miracles weekly, monthly, and yearly.
That is a mess for sure. A total disaster in every way possible. No one in their right mind would ever have the audacity to think that repairing this thing is in any way remotely possible. Can Dennis actually do the impossible with Vetted?
You talking about patience. That's not one of the virtues I was born with, I can tell you that right now.
Even if Dennis can do what he says he can do,
I do this in my sleep. I know damn well I can fix it.
can he do it on time and on budget?
I'm watching money just fly out the fucking door.
Will Foster's Yacht Services, Dennis's business, and his reputation that he's built over the last 30 years be crushed by the weight of his own ego?
Allowed to leave the property to go to Verizon, I'll do
No,
that.
you do it on your own.
What are you talking about? I'm working for you right now.
Will this management team disintegrate under the pressure of these impossible demands?
Why are we going to have 2 work orders for a crack on each side and then 2 cracks on the
But that's
How
how.
about fiberglass repairs?
How about what the customer wants and we quoted
about
it?
it?
How about what the customer wants and we
No, it's what
quoted
you
a
want. I know
call
what
with
the
me?
is
And
with the customer.
don't use obscene language and speak to me, okay?
come on.
I don't disrespect you, okay?
All right, let's be good.
Guys.
Oh boy, you guys want some? Oh, never mind.
Don't use
Can we, hey, are we professionals in here or what, guys?
Sometimes.
This is bullshit.
Wait a minute, whoa. No, no, it's bullshit because you need to let me talk.
This is not a fucking joke.
My fault, I should have
I
told you.
screwed up by not saying Harry, you up to begin with.
That is the purpose of fucking Blue Folder, is the actual times. That's the fucking purpose of the goddamn program.
So who's fucking up?
Whether Dennis can pull off this miracle or not remains to be seen. But either way, you don't want to miss seeing how this all plays out on the next episode.